Hello guys, my friends on YouTube, welcome back to Karin's Orchids channel. I'm so happy for you being here, and I want to thank my subscribers for all of the lovely comments they were putting down into the comment section. For a period of time I got a lot of links to adult sites. Yes, so I'm so happy I got rid of them. Yeah. Anyways, this video I'm going to show you guys some orchid failures, some out of reach of recovery, and some which I do think stand a good chance of recovering. Yeah, we've been having 1 or 2 weeks ago a heat wave, not out of this world really. We had 34 degrees Celsius indoors, at least it was that hot here. So yeah, and after that we had some heavy rainfalls, wet everywhere, so almost starting to get overwatered. That's when I came up with the idea to add a little bit of slow release fertilizer onto the plants, since there is really no way that I shouldn't go out here with my watering can at this point. See what I mean? We had a sunny morning, but there is going to be heavy rainfalls coming in again. You can see the dark clouds over there, so we better be prepared and move some of the cattleyas into the shelter. Anyways, the heat wave and the dry period really did some damage to some of my orchids. They are suffering, yeah. And I've been working a lot this summer. I've been totally exhausted. Every day after work, I went to bed for a couple of hours, just in order to cope with my daily routines. Yeah, there really hasn't been a lot of time left for my dog, nor my orchids, nor my discus fish and stuff like that, which really craves and demands my attention. Yeah, so I'm going to show you what the heat wave and followed up by the rainy season did to my orchids. Listen. But first of all, I'm going to show you some good results. Show you an orchid that actually loves being outdoors. It's my cattleya trianae. Yeah. I got it from the Orchid some more web shop in June 22, so a little bit more than 3 years ago, as a 1 year to flowering sized cattleya orchid. Yeah, they weren't lying. As you can see, there is a sheath, and that sheath's been there for the last 3 years, so it derived with that one. And she likes to create sheaths, you can see, but they are empty on very chubby short canes. Last year, I thought I'd lose her. Last spring, yeah, of 24. She's starting to rot off some of her new growth. Just fell over the rim of the pot. Just died down there to the base, yeah, rotting off. So I took precautions and reported the orchid itself into my look. Yeah, obviously this one tilted and dropped to the floor, yeah, the concrete floor here. But anyways, doesn't seem to have harmed the orchid. So look at the roots down there. You can get a good glimpse of what a cattleya orchid in a clay pot will look like. Yeah, that's why I keep my cattleyas in clay pots, most part of them, that is. But anyways, look, finally this one is getting good sized. As a trianae, shouldn't be this tiny. Never got going, this plant, until most recently. So an orchid with black rot can bounce back. And who would have thought that she would love it out here? But she does. Yeah. And the Watchevicii, the one which prefers a little bit cooler conditions, I've heard. Obviously, benefits from a bit more sun as well, and some good hydration. So she was kind of flimsy, sloping plant, and her leaves weren't as sturdy as this, I can assure you. So she benefited from being outdoors. So next season she's going to be outdoors as well. Yeah? Maxima, trying to get her to fill up a sheath once and for all. I got a good tip from a cattleya expert. Yeah, in order to get this Maxima species into bloom, it's easier to provide her a couple of months outdoors throughout the summer period if you want to get this orchid to fill up the sheath. Yeah, so that's why I tried this method out this summer. She's never been outdoors before. I had for a couple of years now. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't, but I'm going to keep this orchid anyways. Doesn't matter if she blooms or not. Yeah. But down here, there's something that couldn't stand the shift in temperatures. Look, it's an old purchase. I had this one for over 5 years. It's Renanthera calcium. It's a hybrid. It received, yeah, you can see a bit too much light. Better move her a little bit away from the lights. Cool night down temperatures combined with a very, very hot sun hitting the cool leaves, yeah, made this orchid this ugly. So she dropped at least 10 of the bottom leaves. Yeah, very, very bad idea. Wouldn't surprise me if she starts to bloom after this treatment. 1 week later, and what do you know? This isn't a spike. I don't know what is. Roots normally comes out in between from the stem, so might be a first time spiking. Yeah, I'll know in a couple of days, time a week. There's something missing here. Instead of my Renanthera monachica, there's a chiller plant out here. So where's the monachica? And why did I bring her indoors? Let's find out. And why I choose the Renantheras to go outdoors this summer. The fact that they never, ever wanted to bloom for me. Everybody else seems to be blooming, the monachicas, or the Renanthera genus, overall very well, at least bloom-wise. But I've never once seen a bloom on my Renantheras. Yes? So, it's not going to be a surprise, I believe. Look at my Renanthera monachica. This spike wasn't here last week when I last watered this plant. I can tell you that much, guys. I was bragging about this monachica in my balcony tour a couple of videos ago, yeah, a viewer request. And she was doing so great in the direct sunlight. Yeah, until the heavy rainfalls arrived and virtually soaked this plant, drenched her, which caused her to drop a couple of leaves, as you can see. So I brought her indoors again. Yeah, I just couldn't figure out what to do with her. So, this almost killing off the orchid obviously worked. And I do have some monachica babies, not from that one, but from a Ecuagenera Europe purchase. These were flask Renantheras from the Orchid Show. In September, it will be 1 year ago, I purchased and deflasked them. Great roots on these guys, yeah. So all 4 are gonna survive. So, some more Montichicas to show you guys. And maybe in 5 years' time they will also bloom. Yeah, this is 1 hour later. You see my point? It's not a little bit of rain we're getting. It's virtually just pouring, yeah? 1 hour ago we had sunny weather. Now these guys are getting overwatered. So, I need to move a couple of plants. Protection from the rain. Which one? Yeah, that one. Maybe that cattleya won't benefit from some more rain. What about the other ones? Nah, it's alright, I believe. 2 hours later, yet another rainfall. Look at this massive amount. I mean, is this Sweden? I don't recognize this. Saving my plants. Well, actually, I do not really know where to start. I'm not used to showing you guys things that aren't working out. I must admit, I'm of the belief that you wouldn't like it, but and some new viewers perhaps may think that I'm a lousy grower. I'll leave. But it comes with the territory, not succeeding. And if you do want to learn to grow orchids properly, you'll see that there will be challenges. And in the Northern Hemisphere, yeah, you New Yorkers know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're all in the Northern Hemisphere. Pronounced summer periods between June to August, and some real cool weather conditions with snow and all. Degrees below zero during November to March, April. But I must say that it's easier to keep alive during the cooler period. It surprises you guys, but it is. Along with hot weather and drought, stuff like spider mites will occur. You can see the damage here to the path leaves. Yes. Always on the paths come summer. So what can we do about it? Yeah, I normally spray with leaf gloss or leaf shine. It's a fatty spray solution developed to make your plants look shiny and beautiful, first and foremost. But it works really well as it is fatty. But it's really cool, so you shouldn't be spraying it directly onto the leaves. You should keep the spray a bit away from the leaves as you're spraying. But it's really been working out great for the ones prone to get spider mites, such as Phragmipediums and Angrecum orchids. And even Faust. This one was so infested by spider mites 1 month ago, 1.5 months ago, when the first heat wave of drought arrived. Yeah, I was so proud of this orchid from Orchids and More, this Faust Schilleriana. You wouldn't believe it, guys. I was waiting for her first spike and all. Half the amount of her leaves dropped, and even the leaf to the center. I reported her, of course, sprayed her with leaf shine, and now she's bouncing back. Fortunately. And now, guys, I'm going to show you 2 newly purchased Phalaenopsis orchids from Orchids Deluxe. The ugly Phalaenopsis I got from the Orchids Deluxe this spring are both going downhill in a way. Yeah, look at this one. Phalaenopsis stratiana variation nobilis times sibling. It's actually a species. Such a gorgeous one. But that large leaf feels a bit dry. Followed up by this leaf, which looks tiny, discolored. And yeah, most of this stupid stuff. But here, 2 new leaves. And what I noticed just now, yeah. So, if there's life, there is hope. Unfortunately, going through the hole, but yeah, I shan't complain. There is progress, so she'll probably survive, provided I don't overwater her to the stem, up to the stem. Yeah, that's the right way to put it. So, just a little bit of water to the bottom of the container. Yeah, it's better, way better. Where's the other Phalaenopsis from Orchids Deluxe? I was about to throw her away. But now look at her. Actually, had to move her. As I watered my plants, I saw that this gal, the day after or 2 days later, such, was dropping her leaves. You can see she doesn't carry many leaves, so it was a 5-leaf plant, and now there's only 2 leaves left. But as I put her aside, away from the other ones, I discovered some new root growth. Yes, and now the leaves are clean, and she's coming out with a new one. And here, a few new roots to the base of the stem as well. So it's a good thing I had patience enough not to throw it away into the garbage can. It was so close. Yeah. So I found that this one's flowers were especially beautiful. Yeah. So, and the spider mites even hit my beautiful Callosum, a species, reliable bloomer, blooms every summer for at least 2 or 3 months in a row on the same spike. What happened this year? The petals didn't open properly. I just thought, well, it's just a variation. It may occur, yeah. Nothing wrong with the orchid. I can see there's still some remaining markings from where the mites have been, red mites, the worst kind. So I took a lot of the plant, had to cut away a lot of leaves and spray it. Now she's bouncing back slowly with a couple of new fans. But the blooming only lasted for 2 weeks. So the bloom itself was really infested by mites. So keep an eye on your Phragmipediums when the heat waves arrive. Yeah. But 2 other things which really could benefit from a lot of moisture and humidity is the Trichopilia Colura ultimate. Look at that one. Also from the Karin. I hung it right up against the window. Became far too dry. But now they are bouncing back. Even this Trichopilia 5th heart is looking way better in here. It'll look terrible for a while. So but this one didn't carry a good root system. I should have known, but I don't. Yeah, I know far too little about Trichopilia. But now they're looking at least better. The one with the best roots is, of course, thriving best. Yeah. So my conclusion is that the Trichopilia genus, benefits from a lot of moisture. Are you kidding me? I was actually going to include this Eonicidium popcorn haruri into this video, saying that I've had this for so long and it refuses to bloom for me. The only thing that happens is that it catches scale. No blooms, but at least it's still alive. But I thought, well, no big news. It's still alive, it's not doing bad. But look, after all this time. A spike. Oh, this is my lucky day. I just found a spike on another one, which also been refusing to bloom for the last couple of years. Lucky day. on top of it all. A little bit of luck, yeah. What else is bad? Yeah, I do have bad stuff left to show you. I certainly do. And I'm embarrassed to tell you guys what happened, really. Oh, should I be embarrassed? It's not really entirely my fault, or is it? Could be. The beautiful Masdevallia ignea I was bragging about, and I was so happy that I went ahead and bought yet another Masdevallia, as this one was doing so great. Look at her now. But what did happen? I didn't do anything new. No changes on my behalf. I can promise you that, guys. I didn't do anything. The heat wave did it all. When the temperature reached 34 degrees Celsius in here, as I told you in I think it was in my unboxing video, these guys do not like swift changes in temperatures. But I just took it with a grain of salt. I mean, every type of orchid goes through swift changes in conditions. Yeah, monsoon rains, loads of humidity, droughts. I mean, it's inevitable, I thought, out in nature. I don't know how these guys actually can grow. If you see what I mean. Yeah. Dropping leaves. Roots are sturdy still. And it's not soaking wet, nor is it bone dry. But look, what a disaster. But I would tidy this orchid up. What can we do about it? I hate to see her like this. So I'm just going to trim off. This leaf is probably going to die off anyways. And even this leaf, so it doesn't matter. I can't bear to see him. Sorry. Of course, they will wilt away. The rest of the leaves as well. Now at least I can see how bad the state is. The state of the plant is. If it really is as bad as I think it is, looks better. But what concerns me most is that it's new growth here. It's turning yellow. Now I can always fool myself that it's doing better. Yay. And what I also do hate to see is my new purchase, the Masdevallia Vichtiana. After having had this one looking so great for at least 6 weeks, thought I could manage to grow this one, but suddenly, or immediately, it was hit by the heat wave. I don't think this one stands a chance on surviving. Not at all. Look. But I would tidy this one up as well, but I usually do not feel like this. It's, yeah, you can't grow everything, can you? But you can always try. Well, after 3 more weeks, about, the Vichtiana is doomed. Now it's going into the trash. There's nothing to save. No roots, no life. At least when it comes to orchids without pseudobulbs. So, into the trash can you go. It wasn't a very long visit, was it? Yeah. But it all depends on the strength of the plant when you receive it. Not all, but a lot. Depends on that. The quality. Yes? But what puzzled me most was that the Dracula Solii hasn't declined at all. Yeah, the only sign of decline might possibly be these spots. Maybe it's the beginning of something bad, but this new growth down there to the base are still growing very slowly but they are still growing. It's a little teeny bit damp. It's got a self-watering frog here. But, wise from experience, even with these types of plants, the Graculas, I'm not so convinced that this one will make it either come autumn, as I bought a whole bunch of Graculas 1 or 2 years back during springtime, and I was so fully determined that they would all make it, that I was going to prove them all wrong, yeah? That you can grow Graculas indoors with regular tap water and, well, with indoors hot conditions. Yeah, you can. They can stand hot conditions for a while, but not for any length of time. That's my conclusion. But I may be wrong. We shall see when autumn arrives. If this one's still alive come November, I think I come across a good species to grow indoors. But, yeah, we shall wait and see. 3 weeks later. It's hanging in there. Yeah. It's even grown wider. And its 2 new growth are growing slowly, but they are growing. But the leaves are wider, yeah, aren't they? A bit pale to the tips, maybe. But not so bad. No yellowing. No black spots, really. A characteristic sign of decline. So, if this one makes it until Christmas, this one is going to make it. Yes. So I'm going to be patient before I go ahead and buy a couple of more to put on the windowsill, which is already crowded. Yeah? I will hold my horses and see if this one survives first. They are cheap, yeah, they are cheap as well, so it's very easy to go ahead and buy a couple. Well, you guys, now it's been 2 more weeks. I thought I'd lose this plant, Ignea. Yeah, but it felt a lot better after I'd cut off the ugly tips. Who needs ugly tips? Not many leaf tips which are intact. But what's comforting me a little bit is, or not a little bit, a lot today is that I now see new leaf there, another leaf coming there, another one there, another one there, something in between, yeah, a couple of in between, and a little one there, along with the root. So I think this one will survive. The heat wave's over, now we only have 23 degrees Celsius, so it's a lot better. What else bad stuff do we have? Yay! Yeah, let's not forget about the Miltoniopsis. Yes, this community pot. Something I always fail with in one sense or another. There are actually 2 plants in here. Let's just spray this scissors with some alcohol before I use it on another type of plant. Yeah, let's not get sloppy here. This pseudobulb, oh, can you see anything? No. This pseudobulb is rotten. I don't know which plant it belongs to, but I can just look at this orange stuff that you guys been talking about a lot. And I just went, well, what? I don't understand what you're seeing. Yeah, there's yet another one dying. This orange rot. So, just get rid of that one as well. You can just snap it off. Using manpower. Girl power, maybe. One of the plants aren't doing very well. I do not know which one it is, but doesn't matter. But you guys, what we do see is, ta-da! New root tips. Can you see them? Down there. And we do see the new growth here. We do see another new growth there. I think that this plant of these plants wants to pull through after all. I'm just going to press it down a bit. And I do not believe that watering this plant from above, by pouring water from above, is going to help. Not at all. I think I will need to only water it from down here. You can see there's still water there. So I think these guys are going to survive. Despite the orange rod and all. I could have put it outdoors, but maybe next year if it pulls through. Huh? I was just about to toss this one into the trash can. Ooh, some more space now. Yeah, that's exactly what crossed my mind. Yeah, my first thought. More space. Yeah. Now it looks better. With possibly 3 or 4 new growth and new roots. This one will push through, I believe. So it's a difficult plant. Can't stand heat waves. No way. Yeah. Herr Alexander. Well, a couple of weeks later, the orange rot process continued. So I had to rip out the middle piece, yeah, as it was progressing. It's orange rot, whatever that is. I didn't feel an urge to look it up, really. It's just there, or it was just there. What can I do about it, more than remove it? I mean, it doesn't make me any happier to know if it comes from spores or from whatever. Anyways, new growth on its way. Another one there to the side. And root. So I'm keeping it on a little bit more dry side now. So, save a praise. Well, I know that many of you guys avoids my Phragmipedium orchid videos. But the ones who are actually viewing it use it for a fairly long time. So, if you like frags, you like frags. If you don't, you certainly don't. But they aren't the easiest ones to grow indoors. Depending on which variety you choose to buy. Yeah, it's just as simple as that. This one, for example, is one of the most disastrous Phragmipediums I've ever come across. Phragmipedium Priscilla di Portilla. And look at it. It's been so close to the trash can. You may say, why don't you throw this ugly orchid away? Yeah, why should I? It's a very, very big challenge. This one actually is a cross between the little finicky Phragmipedium schlimmii variation Mansouri and the Phragmipedium king itself, the Phragmipedium. The Kovaccii can grow fairly large, yes, and it's a finicky one, yeah, that one. But the hybridizers loves to make hybrids from the Kovaccii due to its very, very large and beautiful flowers. That one was a recent discovery. I think it was discovered in 2002, as late as 2002. So it's been so popular and so overpriced for a very, very long time now. And so its hybrids are relatively finicky as well. I would know, as I got several Kovaccii hybrids in my collection by now. As it really creates lovely hybrids. Yes, this one I do not think was the most successful one, or maybe I just happened to not have the right conditions for it, not been treating it correctly, or maybe it's just something else. It's just a finicky one. The schlimmii, I've heard, could benefit from a little bit less fine grade medium, or shall we say a little bit more airy medium. But I'd say that perlite, this huge amount of perlite I've been adding into this mix, that's the trick. It helps a lot. Yeah, it helps out a lot with aeration. You can see this root shouldn't be a dead one, nor should that one be, nor that one. I think this one is doing fairly alright underneath the surface, at least. The upper part of the orchid is not doing great. But instead of throwing it away, as it was showing signs of decline, I decided to keep it and repot it and see what happened. Yes, it was coming out with dark, broadening leaves to the center of each new fan. You can see? But they are capable of, as you can see, it's funny that it happened. Just as I'm mentioning it, they can create new middle leaves. Yeah? It needs this middle leaf. Yeah, it really does. For blooming and all. As we speak. Yeah, that's funny. So this one is actually bouncing back now. And the broadening process to all of its center leaves has stopped. Yeah? Eventually, I had to rip out all of the leaves to the center as they were turning brown, all of them, and would cause rotting too down there if not careful. So I really had to rip them out. See? Green leaf, new growth, nothing black to the center. New growth, nothing black to the center. A new growth there. Just need to get rid of, to remove this black leaf. I can't stand seeing it. But there's a little tiny new growth there, just next to it. So, yes, maybe you shouldn't throw a frag away. They are extremely expensive as well. I think I paid €45 at least for this one. 1 point. So hooray for not having to throw this gal away. Can you believe it, guys? So no free space. So I guess it's going to be another round disinfecting this tree. Subtly important. Yeah. It's not only the heat which is concerning me. I rearranged this cabinet a bit as I got a couple of new plants from Karin orchids. Yes, Trichopilias, for instance, which aren't doing well at all. As I said, you can't win them all, can you? So, as the heat wave arrived, I increased the amount of fog. Yeah, cool fog. You can see the fog is on. These guys didn't get much light, but they did get some excess water dripping down from the baskets here, community dendrobium baskets. And I was sloppy, and I didn't see what I was doing and what was happening due to that I wasn't focused. I should have kept a better eye on these guys. So let's take a look at my Trichopilias. There's going to be some major changes to how I'm keeping my Trichopilias. This one is my old one, the one from the show last year. I had it for about 1 year now, 11 months. Trichopilia hennesiana, yeah, from the Equagenera. It's not a bad plant, never been a bad plant, but it's never been blooming either for me. It was sitting right underneath the basket. I was sloppy and watered the basket without taking into account that this one was actually sitting right underneath it. All of the excess water just pouring into this other container. But it didn't take a toll on the orchid. On the other hand, look. She is thriving with a lot of water. And she's got a great root system. Look. Yeah, you shouldn't keep them too soggy, I've heard. Well, not for an extended period of time, maybe. But this bath, obviously, didn't harm her. Look at this one. Maybe a flower spike. Maybe. As I never had any flower spikes. I only had buds when it arrived, which lasted. So I don't really know what a new spike looks like on a Trichopilia. So I've never been successful with these types of plants. My goal was to be, or to become, successful, but maybe one day. But now I need to take precautions, as I said. Only bad thing happening was to this old leaf, doesn't matter. It might as well just wilt away and, yeah, by its own doing. Yes? That one wasn't a problem, really. There's another one, which I, on the other hand, did forget to water properly enough. It is the Becky Unruh. Look, this growth is dying. I might as well just get it off there. Due to what? I'd say rotting. And what causes rotting? Yeah, it's bacteria. And it's bacteria spreading, fungus and stuff, due to being kept too moist, in a far too moist condition for far too long. And that will cause the bacteria to increase and thrive and spread. Yeah? But this one, I think this one stands a good chance of surviving anyways. That wasn't the worst one. Here's another Trichopilia. It's one of my favorite ones. It's the Suavis. Also from Karin. It's looking better. I don't think it's been... Yeah, look here. If I play my cards right, this might be a flower spike. As you appear from the base, just like the other one you just saw, the one with the white flowers. This one's flowers aren't white, so it's natural for the spike not to be white either, in some cases. But as you can see, if it gets too wet around the new growth, it may accumulate a bit of water. That's my own assumption after having seen what happened to the other one. Yeah, it will stay there for far too long, the water, and it will rot. And as you can see, the accordion leaf is not very uncommon, but it's wet. So I caught it on time. Let's just be extremely careful now while ripping off these wet sheath. So next time I spot a new growth on a Trichopilia, I would try to peel off the sheath as soon as possible. And I won't water from above. Get this thing wet. I will dip water it. But it looks promising. Overall, the best plant. Yeah, almost. And this is the one I like the most, so I don't mind. That is the best one. But here's the disastrous plant, which took the hardest hit, so to speak. Look. Yeah, that's what I've been talking about. Water down there, and rotting process is inevitable. Yes? So she lost this Apache, lost both her new growth. So now there's going to be changes. There's no way I can keep them in this high humidity. Uncontrolled. So, changes, major changes. But that will be another day, and I'm going to show you guys something else. We're going to end this session with a real success. So, the surprise for today is sitting right up against the window. Let's finish off this long, disastrous video. Nah, it wasn't so bad. Eventually, I'm gonna bring her out. Let's wait a sec. Oh, I have so many beautiful things that I really feel an urge to show you guys before, but no, that one. Look at this beautiful state of this plant. Look at its root system. Yeah, this is a perfect plastic pot for a frag. Yeah, frosted, relatively deep. Look. And 2 new growth on its way. Oh my. The tag's stuck even. Phragmipedium sedenii. And can you believe that this gorgeous, gorgeous plant is virtually related, half-sibling, to the ugly Phragmipedium priscilla the portilla, with the only difference that this one's other parent is the Phragmipedium longifolium, which always, almost always, I might add, inherits the best of traits, longevity and resilience to its offspring. Yeah, but it certainly didn't inherit the Schlemia's size, but it inherited the Schlemia's good color to the flower. That was the breeder's goal back in the days when they first found the Schlemiae. Yeah, a frag with an actual color to the flower. Little did I know that was a very finicky orchid to grow. I did repot it this spring. I was, of course, a little bit nervous that I wouldn't like it, but it's becoming extremely wide. And I'm not sure that this one is supposed to be this wide. And I'm not even sure that, let's see now if I can, this guy is supposed to be blooming like this. But it is on its first time blooming, at least here. This is a division from, as I say, I always call her my local vendor. Yeah, she's an orchid seller. She runs her own business, and she always attends to our monthly Orchid Society meetings. So I bought this one at a meeting. Anyways, it's a really, really beautiful flower. So you guys, now we ended this video with a very, very nice thing. So frags aren't always difficult to grow. Just put her right up against the window with a little bit more humidity. Good lights. And I've actually reduced the fertilizer, the amount of fertilizer. I diluted it a bit, and I didn't fertilize my frags so often for the last 2 months as I did before. And now I think they're kind of sort of doing better. Except for, yeah. The bad ones are even doing better. So we're getting there. No black leaves to the center. Thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way to the end. Now it's all my worst orchids. And I also told you a little bit about what kind of actions I was gonna apply to them or such. So if you have any comments, any suggestions, any questions, anything, whatever you want, put down a comment in the comment section, and I will gladly answer, oftentimes within the next 24 hours, as I'm working really, really hard this summer. I go to bed really early, so if it takes a little bit longer to receive an answer to your question or comment, I haven't forgotten about you. It's just that we're not allowed to use our cell phones at work during our breaks, and the breaks are so rare. So yeah, you see where I'm going. So have a lovely day, and we shall talk soon. Bye bye guys, love you all.